Welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, the markets breathed a sigh of relief yesterday following the 5-day downturn which had erased 700 points from the Nifty index. The Nifty did manage to close above the 22,100 mark yesterday. Along with this, it was the Bank Nifty index that broke the 9 days of losing streak as well. Will the bounce back sustain in trade today, and will it continue on its upward run? Well, two key factors apart from earnings that markets will react to. One is the retail inflation data that eased to 4.8% in the month of April, and of course the IMD update on the southwest monsoon advancing into the Andaman Sea by May 19th. So timely onset of monsoon is likely over the South Andaman Sea, and IMD has said that the country is set to receive above normal rainfall during June to September. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shail.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fine Tuesday. Mangalwar hai to Mangal hi hoga. Let's look at how the markets are structured. You've seen two important points being discussed already, which is the retail inflation and, of course, the onset of a decent monsoons. Delhi is getting very humid. We desperately need a good shower which can sort of clean up the city as also boost spirits. But nevertheless, let's look at how markets are structured. The daily chart of the Nifty, as always, is right there in front of you. So actually what we'll do is we'll break this conversation into two parts, the positives and the negatives. Now, since I'm a very optimistic person, we'll start with the positives first. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just say that we are still even Stevens. We are not out of the woods as yet. Remember, last week the first 4 days were just beyond terrible. We had a mild uptick on Friday and a mild uptick on Monday. So 2 days of modest gains. The Gift Nifty is showing signs of about a 40-point uptick, which we will welcome with open arms as far as bulls are concerned. But let's look at the positives in yesterday's moves. So both on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, the 100-day exponential moving average was respected by both the bulls and the bears. We went all the way down to 21,821 on the Nifty and then recouped smartly. From then on, we shut shop at 22,104, up 48 points, which is also the day's high. So the story is not only the fact that we closed in the green, but we closed above 22,100 and we closed substantially higher from the 100-day exponential moving average. The moment that happened, the Nifty went into a very strong resistance at 22,100, which we'll talk a little later. Now, this is one major positive, that the 100 EMA has been respected both on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Let's look at the other positive. Sakshi, in yesterday's F&O market, about 11 stock futures rose between 4 and 10%. That shows that the trading mojo on the long side is back with the markets. So you had the likes of Siemens, you had the likes of ABB, you had a strong move coming into Hindustan Zinc, and all these counters perked up the sentiment on the Dalal Street. This is the second positive. Now let's look at the third positive. Within the Nifty, there were 26 Nifty futures, which is 10 plus 16, that showed short covering plus build up of long positions. That essentially in English means that there were bullish positions on more than half the Nifty, which is again a positive sign. Now come the mild parts, which is the US 10-year bond yield, the dollar index, gold, as well as crude oil are absolutely quiet. So they are positive in the sense that their increase is negative for Indian equity. So all four, crude oil prices, gold, the dollar index and the US 10-year bond yield are absolutely sitting quiet. So that's a positive. And the good part, if you look at the turnover yesterday, Sakshi, among the top 15 stocks that were traded between 1,000 crores and 5,600 crores, 11 of them were in gains. Again, I say this is an indicator of how sentiment goes, and this is positive. Now let's look at the negative, Sakshi, and Sadly, they are overpowering. 8th continuous day of FII sales, you will give the number. The total is 25,000 crore rupees. That's not resting well with the market. And the India VIX, Sakshi, up 11% yesterday alone. This sort of deters bulls. Remember, all of last week it rose 11%, and yesterday it rose 11%. So you can well imagine what is going on in the mind of India VIX. Options data, very, very clear. Strong support at 22,000 for the Nifty and a very, very strong resistance at 22,100. My understanding is, let us leave the trading of the Nifty and the Bank Nifty to institutional investors for the moment. Let us focus on the ETFs that I had mentioned, especially the Bank Nifty ETF. That is something that you need to look at. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, as Sakshi mentioned, very, very serious bout of selling all of last 9 trading sessions, but a green tick yesterday. Again, 100 EMA was respected. It went all the way up to 47,754, up 333 points. The good part here is, Sakshi, that the underlying strength of the entire banking fraternity, whether it's SBI, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Axis, Kotak, and other small banks, the earnings are very good, and it's just this volatile phase that we are going through. Nifty earnings today, a single one, Bharti Airtel. The chart will come in front of you. In the past quarter, the counter is up 15%, and it's done phenomenally well, consolidates near record highs. There are 5 other FNO companies which will be reporting earnings today. Among them, Siemens, already at a record high, up 10% yesterday, in sync with what ABB did. Oberoi Realty. You also have the likes of Colgate, Shree Cement, and PVR Inox coming up with their earnings today. We are going to react to DLF as well as Jindal Steel and Power. Sakshi will give you the numbers. Very, very strong show at DLF. Remember, DLF is up just 1.4% in the past 3 months. We are going to see a bounce back today. And Jindal Steel and Power, this is the star performer of the FNO space, up 27% over the last 3 months. Numbers will be given by Sakshi. A blowout there, and I am expecting a very nice uptick on DLF as well. Sakshi.
Absolutely. Well, first let's look at how the global market cues are shaping up. So overnight we did see the New York session was lackluster, muted. Nasdaq just about 0.2% higher in trade, whereas the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, they ended slightly lower in trade, especially the Dow Jones. When you talk about, it's definitely broken its 8 days of winning streak in yesterday's trading session. Now, as far as Asian markets are concerned, they were seen in the green in the early opening session. Japan saw steady corporate inflation, but a 6.4% jump in import prices. Japan's Nikkei was seen gaining about 0.09% in trade. Kospi was up similarly about 0.09% odd. Hang Seng just about flattish with a positive bias, but Shanghai down by about 0.3% in trade. GIFT Nifty, as Shail pointed out, is indicating a 40-point of an uptick for the Nifty at the start of the session. As far as the foreign flows are concerned, foreign investors continue to remain net sellers in India for the 8th consecutive session, while domestic investors continued to remain buyers for the 15th session. We've seen FIS selling about 4,499 odd crore rupees in yesterday's trading session alone, and DIIs have bought about 3,563 odd crore rupees in the equities yesterday, over the cumulative figures already discussed with Shail. Now, as far as the earnings are concerned, DLF reported its consolidated year-on-year numbers. Revenue up by 46.6% at 2,135 crores. Now, this is higher than the street estimates. EBITDA also improved substantially, 89.2% higher at 754 crores as against 399 crore rupees a year ago. Margins have improved very substantially, about 795 basis points at 35.3% versus 27.3%, and this is again ahead of estimates. Net profit up 61.4% at 920 crores as against 570 crore rupees. So all across the board, very strong set of showing coming in on DLF. Even yesterday, the stock ended higher by 1.5%. We could see an uptick coming in today. Chalet Hotels in Q4 reported a consolidated year-on-year number where the revenue is up by 23.8% at 418 odd crore rupees. EBITDA up 20% at 183 odd crore rupees. Margins at about 43.7% versus 45.1%. So that's a bit of a downtick coming in. And the net profit at 82 odd crore rupees versus 37 odd crore rupees, largely in line with estimates, barring the margins figure. JSPL, again, strong numbers coming in for consolidated year-on-year numbers. Revenue revenue just about flattish at 13,487 odd crore rupees, down by about 1.5%, but this is much higher than the estimates of around 11,896 odd crore rupees that the street had. Now, as far as EBITDA is concerned, that improved by 11.7% at 2,444 odd crore rupees. This is against 2,187 crore rupees, again ahead of estimates. Margins improved by 214 bips at 18.12%, and this is definitely higher than the estimates. Net profit up by 100% at 933 crores versus 466 crores, and therefore this is largely in line with the estimates of the street. But there's also an exceptional loss of 153 odd crore rupees in Q4 of FY23 that got adjusted, so keep an eye out on that too. Now, remember, GIC Housing Finance also came out with the numbers of Q4. Total income was down 7.6%, whereas the net profit improved by 2.5% at 53.5 odd crore rupees. Now, Sanofi also announced its numbers for Q4. It revealed major downturn in its key financial metrics compared to the previous year. Revenue fell by 74% to 732 crores. This is down from 2,851 odd crore rupees year on year. Now, while EBITDA also experienced a parallel decline of 73%, falling to 219 crores. This is as against 804 crore rupees reported a year ago as well. So those are the earnings that I'm keeping an eye out on. Apart from this, we also have a whole host of stocks in news. Vedanta is going to be considering its funds raised via issue of equity shares via FPO and rights issue or other ways on May 16. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Hindalco will be in focus. Novelis Inc. has filed a registration statement on Form F1 with SEC for proposed IPO. This is as expected on the New York Stock Exchange. So one will have to keep an eye out on this. Shriram Finance, I'm keeping an eye out on. The board has approved the sale of its housing finance subsidiary Shriram Housing Finance to Warburg Pincus for 4,630 crores for equity and convertible instruments of SHFL. Apart from this, Cochin Shipyard that's bagged another order in the range of 500 to 1,000 odd crore rupees from European client for a hybrid SOVs. So I'll keep an eye out on those too. So those are the kind of stocks that I'm keeping an eye out on, Shail.
Okay, let's also look at some other parts of the market where you will see some action coming in. And of course, let's look at Cochin Shipyard and RVNL. The stock prices in the form of graphs will be coming in front of you. Up to definitely 500 crores and up to 1,000 crores is what Cochin Shipyard has informed its shareholders via the exchanges that it has won an order to supply SUVs. So this is one stock that has done wonders for long-term shareholders, and it is one of those lovely stocks that is also a very high trading punt as far as prices are concerned. It's sort of quietened from 1368, which it hit on 29th of April, to all the way down to about 1200, 1195. So this is something to look at. Sakshi's mentioned RVNL. The order size is 239 crores from Southern Railway. The same most recent high is 294. The stock is at 295. So these two should perk up. The reason why I mentioned they should perk up is because they are very high beta counters, and they have rewarded traders as well as investors fairly regularly. We'll shortly be joined by Mr. Gaurav Dua, Head of Capital Markets Strategy at sharekhan.com. Also, we'll be looking at Shriram Housing Finance. Warburg Pincus has purchased the NBFC's housing finance business for 4,300 crore rupees. We'll keep an eye out on that one. Remember, you got hold of Shriram Finance at 1,800 rupees via Mr. Ashish Chatramota when he had mentioned this stock will outperform. Mr. Dua is with us. Gaurav ji, good morning. Very warm welcome to you on Market Today. How do you think the market is structured after terrible last week? कुछ दुआ हुआ कीजिए गौरव जी, ये बाजार को आगे बढ़ाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. क्या लगता है आपको?
शैल जी, गुड मॉर्निंग टू यू एंड द व्यूअर्स. कल जो बाजार ने मूवमेंट दिया है 200 पॉइंट लो से निफ्टी आपको प्लस में बंद करके दिया है, इससे बड़ी दुआ क्या मिल सकती है सर. सो मार्केट्स आर शोइंग स्ट्रेंथ and it is very obvious, before the elections market would get a little nervous, and I think that is an opportunity for everyone. और quarterly भी अगर हम देखें numbers are quite good, pretty good. Most of the spaces that have been doing well, especially property stock, real estate, they are showing extremely good results. You look at hotels, they are showing extremely good results. So I think there are a lot of opportunities which is available, and any this thing pullback of 3, 4, 5% in this thing Nifty uh, is like always an opportunity for investors.
Right. Morning, Mr. Dua. Good to have you with us on Market Today and Business Today television. Do tell us how have you assessed the earnings thus far, and any key upgrades that you have done after the earnings that have just come?
So earnings have been a mixed bag. We some of these spaces which we thought will not do well, especially TCAM, ID services, they have been a drag. Outlook also in terms of the ID services hasn't been great. So I think that is a space which will underperform for some more time. On the other hand, we look at the engineering stocks, capital goods stocks, real estate stocks. They have shown excellent gains numbers, and I think you will continue to have a skewed kind of an approach. Banks again, if you see, State Bank was excellent. Bank of India yesterday actually came out with a disappointment. So you are having some of these spaces which are mixed. However, overall, I don't expect any meaningful downgrade in the earning estimate for for the Nifty for FY this thing 25.
Okay. Since you talked about real estate space, DLF came out with the numbers. What is your sense after the earnings? We've seen an all across the board sharp improvement on all the key metrics, be it top line, bottom line, or even the margins front as well. And we have been consistently looking at the way sales are going for some of these players, big players in the luxury space. Recently, will that continue to give it fillip going forward from here, even though DLF has not really performed in the markets as per its peers, like smaller peers, Macro Tech for example, Oberoi Realty, Godrej Properties, the way they have rallied? How do you expect DLF to now move forward, and would it be a wise move to invest it in now?
So just to enlighten your viewers that the strong profit growth in this case is actually also aided by the sale of land in Chennai. So DLF, the sharp jump that you're seeing in the this thing profit is also aided by a one-time item. Having this thing said, this we have seen last month that they had launched a this thing project, 4,000 crore sales. They could achieve this within a month. So I think DLF is a quality player, and any kind of weakness that we have seen now from the peak, the stock is down by 17, 18%. I think this is a very this thing great opportunity. Also, you have to understand, DLF is one of those very few players in the NCR who was there in the last upcycle also. Rest of the players, if you see Unitech, Omex, Parsavnas of the world, they are no more any out there now. So out of those older players who were there, DLF is not only survived, but they have been growing. So they are able to attract 10 to this thing 15% higher price also, premium also for their sales, and that I think makes it one of the best best this thing play in the NCR market.
Right. Mr. Dua, let's just touch upon a macro number, which is this consistent, now painful selling by foreign institutional investors. Almost 4,500 crores yesterday. Over the last 8 sessions, about 25,000 crores of net sales. What is in their mind? Do they know something that we don't as far as the elections are concerned, or is it just cheaper China that's attracting our money away?
So I think it is a mix of things. Number one, whenever there is a global issue, money, this thing does get withdrawn from the emerging markets. Within the emerging market, India has outperformed in last 2 years by a big margin. So there is some kind of of this thing profit taking prior to the elections. Number, I think this thing third is that uh, there is this whole whole this thing play this thing trade that the valuation gap between India China is at all time high, and there is some some this thing shift of money. However, if you look at the flows into the emerging market fund, India dedicated funds are actually seeing inflows. So it is not that the investors in US and Europe have suddenly become averse to India. There are continued flow into India specific funds.
Fair point.
Okay.
And anything in the mid cap and the small cap space which you find attractive after a 5-7% correction that we've seen in the mid cap and the small cap index?
So, to play the rally momentum, Varun Beverages is one of the picks. Last time I was on the show about a month back, I spoke about this stock. It's a play on extreme this thing summer. They announced very good numbers, and the outlook for the year is also very good. They are talking about high double-digit kind of growth in volumes. I think that's a stock that you can buy. Number two on my list would be this thing Hinware Home Innovation. Now this stock hasn't done well. In fact, this stock for the past couple of months is actually down by 18-20%. Now that is because of the slowdown in the construction activity, especially in the south, because of the elections. I think once the elections are over, that is going to pick up. The stock is looking very cheap. On the forward earning, it is trading at around 13 times, 14 times earning. Most of these building this thing material stocks now are available at extremely good, good this thing valuations. And out of that basket, I think Hind Home can give you an extremely good upside. For us, we have a 56% upside from here in our basic target price for 1 year. So I think that's a pick that you can have. Third would be this is Bank of India. Of course, you had a knee-jerk downward spike in the stock yesterday after what they had reported a jump in their NPAs. However, these kind of aberrations can always happen if you had a big loan which is going NPA. However, I don't think it is a trend. And Bank of India at this price is excellent. If you get to buy this stock, if it opens slightly down, this thing 2-3%, I think it will be a pick, not even not only for a bounce, but also for investment.
Okay, understood. So I also wanted to take your view on Zomato after the earnings yesterday. What did you make of the earnings? We've already seen a sharp run up. The stock prices were hovering at all-time highs
OTP.
a week or so ahead of the earnings as well. We did see a sharp knee-jerk reaction, then the stock recovered after the earnings. And there is another news that's come in that the company is now looking to surrender to the RBI license to operate as an online payment aggregator along with the earnings factor. How are you really assessing the Zomato story unfolding now?
So, Zomato announced extremely strong numbers, but the stock had seen such a big rally that there was some kind of this profit booking on the good news also. They have done an excellent job in terms of this Blinkit. Blinkit, as compared to 175 crores of loss, it actually have reported this profits at the operating level. And I think within this new age, basically internet plays, Zomato and and this Policy Bazaar. I think these are the two stocks that we believe have a lot of long wait long upcycle, they are the very few stocks who are able to turn this in profitable for good. And I think if you want to look at any stocks in this space, you should actually be focusing on these two stocks.
Okay. I think just 2 minutes remaining for the pre-market to open. I'll just ask you about one more stock, and that is Shriram Finance that I was watching out for today. The board has approved the sale of its housing finance subsidiary, sir, to Shriram Housing Finance to Warburg Pincus for 4,630 odd crore rupees. Do tell us, what would this lead to in terms of PLL gain for the company, and how would you really assess? CLSA has given a positive report on this story and given a 2,800 kind of a target price for Shriram Finance, believing that there could be a sharp uptick for this one. How would you really assess the news?
So the stock is already done well. Okay, there was expectation of this deal for a long time now, and normally that's what we have seen. Whenever there is rather prior to the news, there is some kind of this profit booking on the news. That is what we are seeing right now, and that I think is an opportunity. But the kind of gains that you have seen in say past few months, you can't expect that to come in this stock now, because most of this upside is already there in the stock price. And however, if you have a view of about a year, I think you can still enter the stock.
Right, sir. We're just waiting for pre-open rates to be upon us. It's a nice 100-point uptick, 22,189. We welcome this with open arms. We've seen terrible last week, so this a nice light green shade of gains on the Lal Street are more than welcome. Let's look at stocks that have contributed to this a nice uptick in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, HDFC Bank 20 rupees higher, 1475. This is the highest weighted counter in both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. It's looking good. And let's look at now some other prices that are ticking fairly strongly. Bajaj Finance 4% higher. This will settle down sensibly, but enjoy the bounce while it is now just 1.4% higher, 94 rupees. You have Tata Motors 5 rupees higher after yesterday's sell-off, 965. Now let's look at the two other heavyweights. Reliance flat, 2805. Infosys a rupee 50 higher at 1425. So at the moment, even HDFC Bank has now settled about 5 rupees higher. TCS is in the negative, 32 rupees down, 39.15. Axis Bank and ICICI Bank are down about 6 to 7 rupees each. L&T, now this is really interesting. Remember, L&T is at its 200-day moving average. So this is something that we need to look at. Nice uptick of 11 rupees at 33.04. Bajaj Finance is now in negative. So the Nifty flat, now 15 points higher, 22. We have 22,122. Okay, let's look at what's happening in the F&O space. There are lots of earnings, boys, that we need to look at. Primarily DLF, percent higher, 869. Shriram Finance, the news that we've just discussed, Warburg buying its housing finance division for 4,300 crores, welcomed by the market, 4.6% higher, 2408. Nothing much of consequence here. You have Canara Bank, a high beta counter, 1.8% higher, 559. You have a fairly decent uptick coming in Hindalco Industries, again high beta, 1.8% higher, 645. We'll very quickly take a detour to NSE 500 and then welcome Mr. Kunal Parar. He's the Vice President for Technical Research at Choice Equity Broking. Okay. Top gainers in NSE 500. We've discussed some. Let's look at Birla Corp, 3.5% higher, 1470. Remember, the earnings were blowout here. DLF gathering strength, 5.5% higher, 885. This is something that I'm looking at for the past quarter. The past 3 months the stock has done absolutely nothing, and the earnings have been very, very good. 61% rise in fourth quarter profit and a 46% rise in fourth quarter revenue. Okay, what else is moving? Cochin Shipyard, 2.9% higher, 1230. And we have Bank of India, 2% higher, 127. This is something that Gaurav has also highlighted. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is how the pre-open is, fairly quiet. Nifty is now 7 points lower. We'll wait for it to settle. Welcoming Kunal Parar with us. Good morning to you, Kunal. Happy Tuesday. How do you see the Nifty now, and any two stock picks you think will outperform on the charts today, on the long side or the short side?
Good morning, Saiji. And if you talk about Nifty, but obviously we have seen a huge volatility in recent days. And day by day, the way the facings are coming out in election time, we are seeing a high volatilities in upcoming trading session also. Now, if we talk about Nifty side, and Nifty has a strong support somewhere around 21,800. Uh, in yesterday's trading session, Nifty made a low of 21,800. Now, even before Nifty made supported to 21,800, and we see a jump also somewhere around 22,800 also. So my view is like if Nifty holds this 21,800 in upcoming trading session, then we can see a very good upside momentum up to the level of 22,800, and even Nifty touch 23,000 as well. So overall, market is like if any dip is there, it would be like a buy and decline only. And if you have an in hold position, long position, then hold it with the strict cancel of 21,800. Now, if we talk about stock side, then I have one stock in which I have a long recommendation. It's a Metropolis. In yesterday's trading session, we saw a good upside momentum in Metropolis, and It gave a close at 1831 level, and also it is trading above its 100 days moving average. And not only this, in an early chart, it gave a breakout of its falling wedge formation with above average volume. So I am expecting good upside momentum in upcoming trading session. So one can go for long in Metropolis at 1831 with the SL of 1780. Now, if you talk about target, then target comes at 1871, and second target would be 1936. So Metropolis from my side.
Okay, good morning to you, Kunal. Good to have you with us. Well, do also tell us in case you're also looking at stocks like Zomato. How are they likely to move ahead after the earnings now, and what is the trajectory ahead? There were a lot of analysts who were bullish before the earnings. The stock had touched even record high levels. Profit booking today after the earnings, 0.7% down. Where do you see it headed?
Well, stock in yesterday's trading session, stock from bearish engulfing candlesticks formation. Now that's indication of bearish momentum only. And if you talk about trajectory, if you talk about demand zone, then I think it may fall up to the level of 175 to 170, from where we will see a good bounce back as well. So not from the present level, but if it falls up to the level of 175 or 170, it would be a great buying opportunities for any trader or any short-term investor. So time being, it's like wait and watch. If it falls up to the level of 175, then one can go for long.
Okay, understood. Let's again see some of the stocks that are buzzing in the pre-open trade. Maruti, remember it launched two new variants of Fronx, was opening with some ticks higher in the green side. You have Hindalco, remember there is this novelist news reacting on that, 1.7% higher for this one. Vedanta has been in news for fundraise news coverage, and again the stock is higher by about 1.5%. Shriram Finance we discussed, the stock is up about 3.5%. Cochin Shipyard on bagging that order is again up by 3.5%. RVNL is also looking higher after bagging one order. Anything from Cochin Shipyard or RVNL on the back of order wins that you'd like to highlight? What looks positive to you in the pre-open charts?
Well, if you talk about Cochin, then no doubt in pre-opening it is showing level of 1240, and in yesterday's trading session it made a low of 1168, and at the same level stock also made a high. If you talk about 8th of April, okay, and it faced a resistance, and after that we saw some correction also up to the level of 1024. So now this 1180, 1170 is become a good support level for the stock. So from my side, it's like to go long at present level with the SL of 1160. Right now, pre-opening it is showing 1240. So one can go for with the SL of 1160. If you talk about target, then if you talk about target, then target comes at 1300 first target, and if stock breaks this level 1300, then we will see somewhere around 1400 of level as well. So we can expect somewhere around 12 to 13% of move from the present level. So it's a clear buy from my side with the SL of 1160.
Right. We'll focus on two other stocks, ladies and gentlemen, and they are GE Shipping. One very large transaction that happened on this counter. The counter is opening about 1.2% higher at 1019. A very well-known long-term holder of the stock partially sold 20 lakh shares in GE Shipping, and an equally well-known US fund purchased that counter. So keep that in mind. It purchased about 19.5 lakhs versus 20 sold. So that's more or less done. And the other stock that I need to get your attention on is Vedanta. The company will be meeting on 16th May to discuss a fundraise via an FPO or a rights issue or a QIP. Be that as it may, 1.6% higher at 421. Coming to you, Kunal, how about Tejas Networks? It was a blowout yesterday. The counter now at a record high and opening 1.7% higher. Would you have a view at 1220? What to do? Chase it or be quiet?
Sailji, it's like I'm not going to change it because risk reward is not proper at the present level. But yes, if anyone has this stock in their portfolio, I would recommend it to hold the stock only because as per the retracement side and as per the extension level, I am seeing a good upside momentum in the Stages network itself. I am seeing it somewhere around 1345 as the first target, and if stock gives a breakout of it 1345, even we can see somewhere around 1600 to 1700 as well level in the stocks. So it's good for those who have already the stocks in the portfolio.
Okay, and Kunal, the most important question that Sakshi and I and our guest team have been wondering since yesterday evening: why is there an extra K in your name, Kaka Kunal? Matlab, do you know why?
I believe in numerology, so
Is
once
it a
I
matter
went
of
to
choice?
no, actually I believe in numerology, so I went to
You work
Sanjay
at choice
Jumani.
broking, so you decided एक extra K लगा लेते हैं. हाँ, okay, okay. What did Jumani ji say?
He said, Kunal, if you want to grow in finance sector, please put 1K extra in your name.
अच्छा.
Yes.
Acha, okay, okay, okay. But why did he not put an extra? Okay, there is no F, so he can't put an extra F because you are in finance. So he decided कि चलो extra K जोड़ देते हैं. जुमानी साहब is a very dear friend of mine. और कुछ उन्होंने बताया इस साल कौन से मेटल चलेंगे या क्या चलेगा?
Sir, no, sir. I went to meet him in 2016.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, चलो तो ये तो आप तो फिर आप उनके पुराने कस्टमर हैं. गौरव जी को जोड़ते हैं. गौरव जी, एनी व्यू ऑन तेजस नेटवर्क्स? Why is there such a sharp outburst happening on the stock? The earnings, of course, showed that the company moved from loss to a profit in the fourth quarter. How do you see Tejas?
So, the story here is what I understand is that they have been doing well in India. However, you see in past few months or a year, they are trying to expand also internationally, and they have done certain very interesting tie-ups for that. I think that is something which is exciting people, that you have a basically Indian player in this space who is trying to expand abroad. They have also started getting orders abroad, and I think that is providing lot of this confidence also to the investors. However, we don't actively also track the stock, so I won't have any idea on the upside or the downside from it.
Okay. Let me ask you, Kunal, on two other stocks as well. One on HAL. Here, UBS has upgraded the stock with a buy rating and the target price, which has risen from their side from 3,600 that they had earlier to 5,200 now on HAL. So they are pretty bullish, and they have forecast a threefold increase in HAL's order book and a 25% revenue growth in the manufacturing top line. in starting from FY23 to all the way up to FY27 estimated earnings, and the order intake is estimate is above 100% above consensus. How would you really look at HAL? 1.5% higher its opening in the pre-opening session.
So that's a
Well,
stock which you should buy. I'm sorry. Are you asking me or is it
Yes,
Kunal?
Gaurav. Yes, yes.
Okay. So, so listen, that's a stock where we think one should buy and hold. And also, I will want to this thing say disclose that we are holding the stock in our fund, Sher Khan this thing Prime Picks or this in PMS. We have been this thing buying this stock since 800 rupees. And this is a stock which is a structural story. Okay, HAL is one of the few players that is going to be one of the key this thing, beneficiaries of the import this thing substitution in the space, this in defense space. And apart from this, Mazgaon Dock is another stock that we think is a structural story. So if someone was holding it, please hold on to it. And if you want to buy it with a view of making substantial gain over next 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, these are the stocks to buy.
Okay, Kunal, could you give your technical view? 30 seconds.
Well, stock has been trading in an uncharted territory with positive return. If we talk about volume wise, volume is also pretty on level, good level. Right now, in pre-trading, stock is trading 3979 level. So it's from long recommendation from my side. One can go for long at 3979. If we talk about SL side, then SL comes at 3760. 3760. No doubt SL is somewhere around 5.5%. But as per the volatility, this would be the perfect SL. Target 4143 first target. Second target would be 4417.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a green tick on the Nifty. It's opened 58 points higher in sync with what the GIFT Nifty suggested. 21,167. We'll take it with open arms. It also moves above a very crucial cluster of EMAs, which were acting as a very strong resistance. The Bank Nifty 117 points higher, 47,856. Nice green uptick on IT as well as the Nifty 500 index. In fact, the 500 index I find is the most critical. 75 points higher, third of a percent up, 20,584. Let's very quickly look at what's pulling the Nifty up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at heavyweights. HDFC Bank 3 rupees higher. How about Reliance 16 rupees higher? This is very good news. 28.21. How about Infosys 450 higher, 4.5 higher at 1428. The two other banks, Axis and ICICI flat. L&T 33 rupees higher. This is very positive. And of course, Bajaj Finance 14 rupees higher. Very quickly, earnings led. Cochin Shipyard 500 crore ka order, 5.6% higher, 1266. RVNL 239 crore order, 4% higher, 267. Shriram Finance sells its housing finance division, 4% higher, 2404. GE Shipping large deal, 5% higher, 1054. Earnings boy Varun Beverages 5% higher, 1550. This is looking good. Defense is up. Hindustan Aeronautics, Garden Reach, Mazgaon Docks. Hindustan Copper is doing strong, 2.6% higher, 376. So the high beta is doing pretty well. Let's look at FNO and see what's in the most active list. Okay, now something very interesting is happening. Hindustan Aeronautics, this will be the stock for today, 2.7% higher, 4026. ABB, mild profit booking, nothing to be worried about. How about top gainers here? I want to see what DLF is doing. I can't find it. DLF I can't see on any list. Maybe we'll touch upon it a little later. But a fairly strong move. Kunal, first to you, what do you think of Hindustan Aeronautics? What is it up to?
Kunal, are you on?
Kunal, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, I was on mute. So right now stock is trading at 4022 level, 2.56% up. So from my side, I would say it's a wait and watch because when we were discussing these stocks, it was trading at 4000 level, but right now it is trading above that level. So anyone have a position in this stock, it's like hold this stock, we can see a very good upside level from the present level. My target was at 4143 and 4417, but it even made even stock crossed this level and went up to the level of 4600 as well. So from my side, it's again long call. And anyone have position in these stocks, please hold these stocks. We can see a very good upside movement of somewhere around 12 to 13% from the present level.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a defense day. Everything is up. Cochin, Masgaon, Hal, Garden Reach, BEML, BDEL, BDL, BEL, and many more. Let's look at the PSU pack. I track about 15 defense companies, all 15 of them are up. PSUs, it's taking it away. Most defense companies are PSUs as well. Now, Bank of India, this is very interesting. Bottom fishing happening, 1.3% high, 126.25. Canara Bank, Union Bank. So PSU banks are also doing pretty good. Let's look at the advanced decline ratio. We have 1589 stocks in the green, 303 in the red. So it's favoring bulls. Out of the 19 indices that Business Today tracks, 18 of them are in the green, led by the PSU and the energy index, up 1.2 and 1.1% respectively. NSE 500 advanced decline is 393 versus 104. I think it's HAL's day, Hindustan Aeronautics, now 4045, doing pretty well and showing a very strong traction in FNO also. This is 3.5% higher, and the open interest is also now showing signs of short covering. Sakshi, what have you seen?
A lot of other stocks in the mid-cap basket that are showing very strong move. Jyoti Structures is up by 6.5%. Shriram Pistons is up by about 7.5% right now. GE Shipping, of course, after that deal is up by 6.5%. Ester Industries is up by 6%. These are some of the buzzing counters in the mid-cap basket. Anything that looks positive to you from this list of names I read out, Kunal, from the mid-cap space?
Can you please repeat it? Repeat the name
Jyoti
again?
Structures, Shriram Pistons, GE Shipping, and of course Ester Industries.
Okay, so let me talk on GE Shipping. Trading at 1073 level, 7% high today. If we talk about hourly chart, stock has given a breakout of its cup and handle formation on an hourly chart. So whenever stock gives breakout of this kind of formation, normally stock march towards the north side only. So right now it is trading at 1069 level. It's a buy call from my side, 1069. If we talk about SL side, then SL would be at 1000 level only. No doubt, SL is little bit bigger, 6%, but I'm seeing a good target as well. So my first target is at 1120, and if it breaks, then 1210 would be there. So 1210, somewhere around 12 to 13% of momentum from the present level. So it's a clear cut buy call from my side with the SL of 1000 level.
Okay, Gaurav ji, you had talked about Varun Beverages, the first stock today. It's up by 3.5% after the earnings. What would you like to view it again and tell all the viewers? What would you say after this spike? What should one do?
This is a stock, as I said, has been on an uptrend, and plus the quarterly numbers were great. More than that, this next year's outlook, the entire year's outlook is very, very strong. So I think this is a stock which you should hold on to as an investor. Intraday play also, I think you can hold it on to. I think there will be a lot of interest. There will be a lot of buying in this from the institutional investors also. So that's a stock that you can hold on to.
Okay, another stock, Gaurav ji, which we discussed, Zomato, is now down 5% in trade. Let's discuss that one. Is it a good level to buy into, buy the dip right now?
So listen, as I had said, this is a stock which has seen an extremely strong run up prior to the results, and so we have seen in the past whenever the stock has a very good rally, then there is some profit booking. when this news is out. So this, as an investor, yes, I think you can start accumulating. However, if you are a short-term intraday kind of a this thing trader, then I don't think you should be touching it on the long side.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, apart from the defense day, it's going to turn out to be a very high day as far as the PSU basket is concerned. So the trader mentality is now back, kicking alive and breathing deeply this correction and taking advantage of it. Almost all stocks that Sakshi and I track on a regular basis are back with a bang, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with two of our favorites, which is REC and PFC. At the moment, you have a price tick of 527 on REC and a price tick of 426.20 on PFC, up about 2%. REC is gathered 1.2% so far in the trade. So defense is moving, and we track 78 PSUs for you, ladies and gentlemen. Out of 78 PSUs, only 3 plus 3, 6 are in the red. So it's a fairly strong uptick that is coming in. Let's look at stocks that always catch the limelight. IREDA, 3.7% higher, 169. You have HUDCO, 2.5% higher, 221, almost 222 here now. You have SGVN, 2% higher, 126.20. The entire railway pack is doing very well. IRCON, 2.5% higher, 230. RITES, 2% higher, 652. So railway is clicking, defense is kicking, PSU banks are clicking. It couldn't have been a better day, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we have a decent market breadth in the space, let me just tell you. Okay, 1655 stocks in the green, just 400 in the red, so it's 4:1, and that's how the markets are as of now. Metals taking it away. I see a strong move coming in NMDC. I see Hindustan Copper ticking pretty well. So these are the two stocks that one needs to look for, and of course Jindal Steel, blowout numbers. Profit rises 2x to 933 crores. Now it's up at 951, 957 in futures, 1.7% higher. Kunal, Jindal Steel and Power for you. I think this is a record high. Where is the counter headed? Strong tailwind coming in as far as earnings trajectory is concerned.
Well, Sailji, stock is trying to giving a breakout of its flag formation, and if it happens so, then I can say that we will see a good upside level up to the level of 1020 to 1040. So it's like fresh buy recommendation one can go from my side. Right now it is trading at 948 level, and yesterday we saw low of 908 level. So this 908 now has become a good support level. So from my side, one can go for long side 949 with the SL of 905. Timing we can see 982 to 1040 level. So yes, it's a march toward the north side only.
Okay, let's again look at some of the other moving parts in the markets as well. Let's look at the top movers as far as the F&O space is concerned. So Shriram Finance tops the charts, 4% higher in trade. We've discussed this widely. HAL is 2.5% higher. Sun TV is up 2.3%. Manappuram Finance is also up in trade today, 2% higher. RBL Bank, that's moving up. JSPL just discussed with Kunal. Power Grid is also moving higher in trade. Power Finance Corporation is also up. So the entire power basket is again in the limelight. You have NTPC also, that's surging higher in trade. NHPC is up and about in trade too, along with Power Grid and NTPC. Then you have the Power Finances also moving up. Anything, Kunal, from this power space that attracts you at this point?
Well, a few stocks are there. Let me talk on NTPC first. Right now, NTPC is trading at 354 level. It has been trading in an upward rising channel formation only. And recently, we saw some small correction as well, but that small correction halted a good support level of 344 level. So I would say one can go for long at present level 353 with the SL of 340. Okay. If we talk about target size, then target comes at 363, and if it cross, then we can also see 380 level. So 7 to 8% of movement would be there. And you also mentioned NHPC. So this is like a small stock from my key team. Okay, right now it is trading at 94.90 level, and on daily chart we saw some good time wise consolidation in the stock, but in last to last week stock give a breakout of the consolidation as well. So I can say I can say that this stock might perform well from the present level. Right now it is trading at 95 level, 95. One can go for long at 95. If we talk about SL side, then SL would be at 90 level only. First target comes at 99, which is its previous top. And if it breaks this level, then we can see 105 would be there, which is again somewhere like 10 to 11% of movement would be there.
Okay. Gaurav, I'd like you to give us your view on the entire railway space again, and tell us, how are you approaching this? Of course, order wins continue for a whole lot, but after the recent run-up, are you comfortable with the valuations? Are you comfortable with the run-up, or are there any specific names that you still feel there is a lot of steam left?
So, I'll give you a little bit of a broader picture. What is happening is that the public sector stocks are doing well, but however you see, there's some days, railways will do well, defense will do well, then it will shift to power and oil and gas, then it will shift to banks. And what is my experience is that small investors try to chase all these this thing rallies, and they are actually not making the kind of money that they can make in these stocks. So what we have been doing is rather to try and chase the momentum. For past 1.5 years, 2 years, we've been asking them to do this SIP in public sector bank ETF and also CPSE. I think that's a very, very better way for the small investors, retail investors to basically take part in this entire uptrend in the public sector stocks. So that's the way to play it rather than this thing try to chase stocks. Number one. Number two, within this space, if you don't want to play it through ETFs, and ETFs, mind you, have given extremely good gains in past about this year and a half. And if you want to go to stocks, power is a space I think which is again like railway and the defense space has got a multi-year upcycle now because of the lack of addition in the thermal power space for last few years. What we are seeing is that peak demand deficit is growing, and if India has to grow, you have to spend in that space. So you can buy the entire chain, right from Coal India, BHEL to NTPC Power Grid, which is the entire this value chain. Now talking specific about this thing, railways. We are playing railways rather through the infrastructure player. We are playing it through the say, wagon players. So in the past also, I have spoken in your show that this Jupiter wagon, which is done extremely well, and we keep holding on to the stock. And second is the Titagarh Rail. These are the I think this two stocks where we believe that the story is this thing much more clear. Valuations are on our side, and we like to play the railway story through these plays.
Fair point. A well taken view on ETFs, Gauravji. A lot of work on ETFs also happens on Business Today, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers who've been with us over the last 1 year have, benefited immensely on this. No letting up on the defense space, no letting up on the PSU space. Very strong moves coming into stocks such as HUDCO, now 226, of course, days high. Power stocks have come back in focus. Tata Power, after a series of sell-offs, now at 422, 1.8% higher. GE Shipping taking it away 10% higher now, 1093. Strong move coming into Hindalco, and of course the metals space rallying pretty strongly. Kunal, anything that catches your fancy on the metal side? What would you prefer?
Well, we already discussed on Jindal Steel, but right now, if one stock is there, I must say it's a VDS, Vedanta. No doubt, stock gave a very good rally from the level of 250 to up to the level of 418. But even present level, I am saying good upside momentum. Right now, stock is trading at 416. One can go for long in the stock as recently stock gave a breakout of its flag formation. So right now stock is trading at 416 level. One can go for a long 416. Downside SL comes at level of 390. Okay. So if we talk about target, then target comes at 435, and if stock breaks this level 435, then 470 will be there, which is again somewhere around 12 to 13% of momentum that we can see. So one can go for long in Vedanta with the strict SL of 390.
Okay. GE Shipping. Sakshi, there's a digit change, 1102. I think we'll have to look at the chart. This is, I was hoping to mention this, it just slipped my mind. Okay. So all-time high is 1132. Let me just reconfirm that. Yes, 1132 is the all-time high that we saw on 2nd of May. Now almost 1102. The front page news on many economic papers as well as the normal general newspapers is that India and Iran have inked a 10-year pact to manage the Chabar port at Iran. Now, while that's a very good strategic development as far as the broader community of analysts is concerned, but it has a lot of economic implications as well, because the primarily mode of transport will be shipping. Therefore, you see a very strong move coming in GE Shipping, in Shipping Corporation of India, and a host of other shipping stocks. Getting Gaurav into the conversation. Gaurav, would you have a preferred shipping stock, or is this a lower tracked sector which people generally avoid? But the kind of moves that have seen based on this news, I thought I'll take your attention.
So yeah, we don't have an active call, but this is a space that I, on my personal level, have been tracking for this long time, and I think G Shipping is one of the best stocks in this space. They are now able to manage the cyclicity of the space sector very well. They don't depend on the spot kind of contracts. They have gone into those longer term contract deals. They are able to place order for new ships, vessels at the right time. So I think it's one of the very well managed player in the industry. However, at this price, valuations is something which I am not too this thing comfortable with. The stock has extremely good good this thing momentum, so it can go up further. But as I said, I am not too this thing comfortable at this price.
Fair point. At about 14,500 crores, the market cap is fairly okayish for a mid-cap stock. And the fact that GE Shipping is an immensely profitable company. Let me just share some data for you. Top line, I think, is 5,600 crores in terms of trailing 12 months, and hold your breath, profit is about 50% of that, 2,600 crores. So that's the reason why, well, that's a fundamental reason why the stock is in such heavy demand. But it's really one of those great stories that has come up really well. Let me just look at the returns for GE Shipping. I have it right in front of me. Okay, 1 year return is 50%. 5-year return is a CAGR of 31% year on year. So that's something fantastic. Remember, this stock has come back into focus over the last 3 or 4 years only. If you look at the 10-year CAGR, that's a pathetic 11%. So the point is that there is more space left given the background that has happened yesterday in the strategic community, and of course the large deal that I had pointed out. One of the shareholders, Nalanda Equity Fund, sold 20 lakh shares, out of which 19.5 lakh shares were purchased by a single US based FII. Hindalco taking it away, Tata Steel also 1.2% higher, Nestle in the red, Jindal Steel and Power. So it's going to be a metals day, Sakshi. What are you watching?
I was watching Hero MotoCorp Shell. The counter is up by 1.6%, and there is news that Hero MotoCorp has announced that it's become the first auto company in India to integrate with ONDC, that's the Open Network for Digital Commerce, and they now are hoping for they are outlining its vision to revolutionize the digital automotive marketplace, and this integration into ONDC network promises to enhance the shopping experience by offering customers easy access to two-wheeler parts and accessories and even merchandise through buyer applications. Gaurav, what would this really mean for Hero Moto?
So basically, that's another way to increase your after sales and spare part the same revenue. So that is done through the dealers and the distributors. So now they are also planning to do it on an online on this channel. So that will only add to that. So I think for this to add a major revenue stream or make a material difference to their top line revenues is going to take a long time. So I think this is more of a sentimental up move than any big impact on the earnings of the company.
Okay, fair enough. The other counter that's suddenly taken some spike in the F&O space is GMR Airports Infra. Kunal, I would like you to look at the chart of GMR Airports Infra and tell us, how do you see the counter moving forward from here? Is this sustainable a move?
Well, yes, likely same. Right now it's trading at 83.10 level, and stock has a strong support somewhere around 78. Okay, so from my side, it's buy recommendation also. One can go for long in stock at 83 level. Now, I'm not recommending this stock to go for long in future side, because SL somewhere around comes at 77 level. And right now, stock is trading at 83 level. So SL. In terms of percentage wise, SL comes at 7.23%. Okay, so it's good to go for long in cash only with SL of 77. Target wise, 87.50 would be a first target, and if stock breaks this level, then 95 would be there as an ultimate target. So again, 14 to 15% of momentum would be there with this target. So yes, in cash side, I can say one can go for long with SL of 77.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have 9:41 as far as the time is concerned. The Nifty is fairly solid, 30 points higher, 22,134. Gaurav, we'll thank you at this point of time. I'm sure you have more pressing engagements for the rest of the day. But we'll remember Zomato, and we'll remember PB Fintech, which is Policy Bazaar, now is clicking in the green as far as your stock picks are concerned. And of course, a view on GE Shipping, now days high. 1106. Thank you so much for your time, Gaurav. We hope to have you back very quickly.
Thank you. Stocks that I have spoken about would have been advised to my clients, and I would be holding them in my fund, so I want to disclose them.
Fair point. Thank you for that disclaimer. That's very helpful as well. We'll get back to the market, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very strong moves now coming in. Now, let's just analyze the Nifty, because 2 points have happened. One, the 15-minute window has given us a high and low of, ladies and gentlemen, 22,182 on the upside and 22,100 on the downside. So any move in either direction will activate the calls on the call and the put on the either space. So my bet is that we are going to see some strength coming in beyond 22 200 because so far in the first half an hour of markets, you've seen news driven stocks performing very well. Just look at GE shipping, now 11% higher. Just look at all news driven stocks like Cochin, RVNL, and the fact that the entire high beta space is now clicking in the green. All of defense, all of banking PSUs, all of railway PSUs, and a whole host of auto stocks now clicking back in the green. Metals, remember, they are the highest beta counters, led by Jindal Steel and Power after a stunning set of numbers. Has shown a dramatic set of performance, and now it's the entire power space that is coming back. Tata Power 2.5% higher, 424. I saw green tick on JSW Energy as well. You know, I think we'll have a 20% on GE shipping today. This is a dramatic move. 1116. Let me just check out the volume of GE shipping, because that will give you an idea as to what people are thinking. Let's go to NSE 500. Let's do to most active. I'm sure it's there only. Yes, we have about 187 crores of transactions done on GE shipping. In terms of average, yes, it's already 2.5 times the 5-day average. So keep an eye out on GE shipping. This is a start of a new trend, and of course the stock will take out its previous highs. That's more or less given. Sakshi, a change in digit in Hero Motors. Now this is really interesting. I'm seeing 5,000.
Yes.
Wow. 5,019. Volumes aren't that much, but this is a very welcome change. For at least a decade, the long-term investors of Hero Motors have actually had a very bad time, but now life seems to be improving. Let me just give you a 1-year performance of Hero Motors. Okay, 81% higher, which is very good. Bajaj Auto is 97% higher. TVS Motors is 67% higher over a 1-year period. And of course Eicher, what's Eicher doing? 28% higher. But remember, in terms of 5-year performance, in terms of 10-year performance, Hero Motors is still a laggard. Kunal, what are the charts for Hero Motors telling you?
Well, Sailji, right now stock has been trading in an uncharted territory. And if we talk about monthly chart, stock has already given a breakout of its 4080 level. So from my side, it's a clear-cut north side momentum only that stock can march. Right now, stock is trading at 4038 level, and from present level, it may march up to the level of 5470. It's a first hidden target. And not only this, if stock gives a breakout of this level, then clear-cut momentum would be there up to the level of 6200 to 6800 level. So it's a multi-time breakout that stock has witnessed in recent days. So from my side, it's a clear-cut upside momentum only. One can go for long in the stock with a strict SL of 4700.
Okay, got that, Kunal. So that's as far as Hero Moto is concerned, and the view coming in on that one as well. Let's again look at the big moving sectors. So apart from the autos, it's also the metal space that's been definitely in the limelight all through the early morning trading session in the last half an hour, and more stocks are adding on to the list. So you have among the top movers on the Nifty at least 2 of the metal counters, Hindalco and JSW. A little further, you will also have Coal India as well, and Tata Steel too on the top 10 list of the stocks that are moving on the Nifty today. A lot of additions in the F&O space as well. So NMDC has come up in trade too, as far as the moves here are concerned. Jindal Steel and Power, of course, there's the earnings factor too. So the entire metal pack is on the move. Anything that catches your fancy, Kunal, and can you tell us which stock would you really look to trade in this move?
Well, we already discussed VEDL and Jindal Steel, but I was focusing on this particular stock named Hindalco, and not only this, since morning I'm tracking this stock. Right now it's trading at 646 level. It gave a gap opening only, and stock has a strong support of 614 level also. We talk about intraday chart, and intraday chart also looks very attractive. So from my side, it's a long. One can go for long in the stock at 646 level. Downside support comes at 633. So we'll keep 630 as a strict SL. So 646, it's a buy side level. 630 would be a strict SL. 658 would be a first target, and if break and Hindalco breaks this 658, then 678 would be there in upcoming 2 to 3 trading session.
Okay, understood that. So that's as far as the metal move is concerned. Let's look at India VIX as well. It's not as sharp as it was up until yesterday we were discussing. I think it did touch about a 21.3 odd level in the morning trading session. It's cooled off from that level, so it's still up by about 1% or so, but under 21 odd levels right now. Kunal, on India VIX, has the worst played out?
Well, but obviously we have seen a sharp upside momentum. It's a rocket momentum only in India VIX because of this ongoing election phase-wise phase. But let me tell you one thing: in the last two elections, we talk about 2014, 2019, we saw a cool drop off in India VIX in last phase of election. If we talk about 2014, then in ninth phase we saw somewhere around 13% of drop in India VIX, and after the result, another 14% of drop was there in India VIX. So same replicate momentum we can expect in ongoing India VIX momentum. During the seventh phase, we can see somewhere around 13 to 14% of drop, and after the result, but obviously again India VIX will come up to the level of 12 to 13%. So no need to worry about this volatility. It's there because of this election only.
Yes, that's true. Volatility will keep on rising till the point it becomes absolutely unbearable. 14th consecutive session of an uptick as far as India VIX is concerned. At the moment, I see 20.95. Sakshi, get ready for 23 to 25 this week itself, and then maybe much higher. And I'll have a piece of advice that we had written about yesterday on Business Today. If you think buying puts on the Nifty will help you to offset your passive portfolio or make you superb money in the eventuality that BJP loses ground, you will be in an unpleasant surprise on June 4th. So it's best left avoided. If you think that BJP is not making it, it's better to short Nifty futures, but then again that moment may have passed. So it's best to remain in cash, and the second best thing is to buy ETFs. Nevertheless, absolutely breakout stock, GE Shipping, 1120, no stopping this one, and 3 single transactions of 75 lakhs, 2.06 crores, 1.23 crores, 1.02 crores again. Let me just see what the 20% circuit on GE Shipping is today. I have a feeling that it might just have a brief visit or a flirtation with this one. It's already up, ladies and gentlemen, 12%. The upper circuit today is 1202. Let's see what else is clicking apart from Hero Motors. Maruti is what Sakshi has already marked now at 12,821. Strong move coming into TVS Motors, 1.7% higher, 2110. And of course Ashok Leyland, 1.72% higher, 20345. Let's look at the all-time highs for today. This is a list that I never fail to mention. We've discussed Hero Motors, we've discussed Jindal Steel and Power. Our first pick today was Hindustan Aeronautics. We've discussed Tejas Networks. Of course Oro Pharma is at a record high. Now, how did I miss that? 1.1% lower, 1164. That's mild profit booking. But let's get Kunal in. The highest beta counter that I have ever seen in my life is Oro Pharma. Kunal, what are the charts telling you?
Well, right now stock is trading at 1164 level, and stock is showing some mild correction from its all-time high level. But no need to worry in this small correction. If any fall is there up to the level of 1150, it would become a great buying opportunity again in the counter. So let me talk on a clear side, SL and target side. If stocks come at 1150, one can go for long. But strict SL of 1090. If we talk about target side, then target comes at 1195. First target is 1195. And if stock breaks this 1195, then 1270 would be there. So again, 10 to 11% of momentum would be there in Oro Pharma itself with strict SL of 1090.
Okay, got that. Kunal, let's look at some of the other buzzers in trade today, and if I can pick out any name, Godrej Properties, that looks to be again gaining some momentum. Anything that you spot on the charts for this one?
Well, it's not clear-cut buy recommendation from my side because volatility is too high, and right now SL comes at 2600 level. For stock is trading at 2800, and first target comes at somewhere around 2912. So risk reward is not proper from not proper from the technical side. So anyone has this stock in their portfolio, they can hold this stock for the target of 2900, but not for fresh buy recommendation.
Okay, understood. What about IRCTC from the railway space? That is also showing some kind of a buzz today. Anything that looks positive here?
Yes, but obviously right now 1007 stock is trading at this level, and stock has a strong support at 970 level, and even before stock took the support of the same level, and it went up to the level of 1070. So it's clear cut buy call. Okay, right now it is trading at 1007 level. One can go for long with this level. SL would be 970 only, and target 1040 first target, and if stock break this 1040, then 1080 would be there.
Understood. So that's as far as the move on IRCTC is expected. Let's again look at any buzzers from the Nifty 500 basket that we can find out. Okay, some of the stocks, Aarti Farm Labs is something that is ticking higher. This is after the earnings. Remember, yesterday blowout earnings also came in for this one. A very strong move can be seen. And okay, Shell tells me ABB, that's continuously soaring high. Remember, yesterday we discussed that the stock is the stock of the day after the earnings and after brokerage houses report. It's now changed a digit and it's now above 8,000 odd levels. 8,006 on ABB, 0.26% higher in trade. A very strong move coming in. Anything, Kunal, that you'd like to highlight on this one?
Well, if we talk about ABB, right now stock is trading at 8,000 level, and we saw a very sharp move from the bottom of 4700 to 8,000 level. Now, again, it's not clear buy recommendations from our side because risk reward is not. But yes, I must say, if anyone has this position in their portfolio, please hold this because I am seeing a good upside level. First target would be at 8,300, and if stock breaks this 8,300, then I must say stock may march towards the level of 9600 level. So it's a good upside that we can see in upcoming trading session.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 9:56. From my side, I'll wrap up what all I have been looking at. So let's be thankful for small mercies, and the biggest one of them, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Nifty over the last 40 odd minutes has been able to hold on whatever little modest gains that it made. This is a very, very big plus. Beyond that, the sentiment in the broader markets is very happy. You have blowouts happening on stocks such as GE Shipping, on stocks such as Cochin Shipyard, I'm so sorry. The entire defense space, we have a strong move coming into all PSUs, all railway stocks, all banking stocks, PSU banks. That's a very, very big positive. It essentially means traders are back into the market. Now let's look at another very important data. How many of the stocks in NSE 500 top traded list are in green and most active. Okay, just a cursory look. I am seeing first 20 and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are in the red, which is a very big positive. Sakshi, you remember Jupiter wagons that you would be talking about? Well,
Yeah.
record high 517. So you see the sentiment is now clicking back into action. All of all of power space is back, defense is back, PSU is back, railway is back, metal is back. So we are leaving a very happy market on the broader side. We track 19 indices for you, 17 of them are in the green. All this activity points to health returning to the market. India VIX is up, yes, 0.34 up at 20.94. Do not worry, just relax, and let's hope we end the market today in gains and above 22,150. Sakshi.
All right, with that, thank you so much, Kunal, for being with us on this very special edition and helping our viewers navigate through a lot of stocks that we've discussed in trade today and the strategies that you've recommended too. And viewers, we'll start to wrap up the trade now for the morning trading session. 43 points higher as far as the Nifty is concerned, 22,147 on the Nifty. Sectorally, it's the Nifty Bank that's coming under pressure. Remember, 0.1% lower in trade for this one. It's the financial services that are exerting some amount of pressure on this one. Private banks also just about 0.08% of a fall for this one, so profits being taken off already. And when we talk about the other segments that are turning a little weak is FMCG and IT space along with pharma. So the defensives are turning a little weak in trade today. But barring this, if we look at the moves that are on the positive side, it's the metals that are shining all the way through, 1.4% higher. Realty space 0.9% up, half odd percent gains for the oil and gas index, 0.3% gains for the consumer durables. Autos about half odd percent higher as well. So it's a divided screen as far as the reds and the greens are concerned. But let's also look at the top movers. Hero MotoCorp now at the top move as far as the Nifty gainers are concerned, 2.5% higher, now at 5,008. Shriram Finance up by 2.2%. It's the second top mover. Then you have Hindalco, NTPC, JSW Steel, Power Grid, M&M as the other gainers on the Nifty. What is not contributing on the Nifty? On the downside, you have Cipla. After yesterday's sharp move, it's a profit that's being taken off the table, 2.2% down. Adani Ports, Tata Consumer Products, Nestle, Asian Paints, Tata Consultancy Services, Divis Laboratories, all movers of yesterday are seeing some profits being taken off the table. F&O movers, GMR Airports Infra, Jindal Steel Power, Hero Moto, HAL, Tata Power, and you also have Hindalco as the top movers on the F&O space. With that, we wrap up. Many thanks for tuning in. We will be back in the closing show, both Shail and me. But remember, in between, we will continue to get you all the exciting conversations from the world of earnings and top managements. Kalyan Jewellers will be up next. Then we will also have Karur Vysya Bank today. And at 12 noon, do not forget to tune in for Daily Calls, your favorite show where you can get your stock-related queries addressed by top market experts. Many thanks for tuning in for now. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is the earnings special edition, and our focus on this special edition is on the company which has given its investors an over 500 times return over the last 4 years. This is a company which is in the solar place as far as solar segment is concerned, a mind-boggling 50,000% kind of a return